But, trying to get them to explain to me why do they think that, the rates of diphtheria and the rates of smallpox and the rates of polio like went down in these like successive waves exactly the moment after everybody in a certain population got immunized for it.
Mystery.
I mean, they'll say like, "Oh, it's like more hand washing." Oh, like why is like hand washing is a general thing that the world that this is like one disease at a time when you get the jab. And of course, not all people who are vaccine hesitant or skeptical think that they don't do anything. They just think that the negative effects, and right, like there's a healthy conversation to be had as like what the negative effects are of this, right? The federal government has long had a fund for, I don't know exactly how to say this, but giving money to people who have negative effects from vaccines, right? It's a medical intervention, right? I feel like on the pro-vaccine side, sometimes we want to diminish all of the potential negatives to zero because our side is right. And our side is directionally right about this. But we have to kind of glue ourselves to reality and recognize that this is a somewhat complicated thing. Toward the side who is, my side of the pro-vaccine side, I would say, first of all, have empathy for the evolved creatures that you are talking to. The first thing that you have to do in evolution is have an inside and an outside. And organisms that don't keep the outside out stop being organisms most of the time. I have not a pathological fear of needles, but I would say healthy, moderate fear of needles. And even beyond the pain. And it's important to recognize that. And it's important to recognize that as we move to being able to do vaccines through patches, with these little microneedles or whatever, and we get to remove the vaccine from the fear of actually having something, inserted into your body, we're going to see amazing things there. But then I'd also say that, like run the numbers. Say that you have, you enter a homeschool community that is unvaccinated in like the following ways. Have ChatGPT help you think through what is the actual risk that my child and my family is taking on. It sure ain't zero. But it's also not that you're definitely going to die. Getting, using the tools of rationality to really get clear as to what the threats are and trying to say, okay, like, what is that equivalent to? Is that equivalent to me not wearing my seatbelt, like 3 times a year? Okay. Is it not wearing a seatbelt every day? Like, is that what the odds are?